Welcome to DealHawkHQ. Hopefully you'll find this website application useful. This is where you'll land when you've logged in. Just starting with the top here. These are some sort of stats that say how many runs you're having, sort of certain data points. So sort of active profiles is really how many product searches you have set up. And it's sort of limited because of certain things which you'll learn about in a moment. Auto scans, we have automatic alerts, either Telegram, email, or push notifications. So you can set up one or all of those alert systems. Manual scans, we do allow manual runs, which we'll get to when we get to that tab. Estimated profit savings. This is based on the recent items that it's seen down here. Not everything, because it's just going to be full of stuff, but it's sort of the most recent items will just give you some idea of how much you would save or the profit you would make on those. Very important box here, API usage. It's a technical term. So when we're calling eBay, there are limitations on how many calls you can make, etc., etc. This limit here will just keep you within an acceptable range. So we don't hit any blockers. eBay would block it from running and the scanner would have to shut down and wait for that to clear. So we're just trying to stay within those restrictions. So keep your eye on that as your jobs are running. Obviously the manual scan today count there. Profiles used with the limitation there. Up here we have Scout Plan. That's the default plan that you will hit when you first sign up. These limits you see are based on this plan. This plan, should you set up your own developer key from eBay, which I suggest you do. It's free. Just go on the site. You'll have it done in seconds. These limits will be increased quite a lot because there's only two free plans here. One, you use your own eBay key, and one we're using our server key. And at the moment, the server key is slightly less, a bit more restricted until I can get those limits increased substantially. You'll have a watch list here, recent deals, which we'll see starting to populate as we go through this demo, and some search variants down the bottom, which we'll see as we go in the demo. So moving on to Hawkeye, is the product setup page, and you have two types of setup: best price alert or resale alert. So best price alert is just you want to find something for a certain price, or less than a certain price. That's pretty much all it is. So you've got a bit of setup to do that. You save the profile, and then the automatic scanner will alert you every X amount of minutes, which we'll get to, or you can run the manual scan on it as well, which we'll see. So we'll do one of those in a second. And there's a resell. Resell is for flippers or people that repair stuff. People that want to resell it later for a profit. So in here, there's some more details. You can enter parts costs, delivery costs when you're selling, and it'll account for those costs when it goes looking for the item. So if it finds an item that you need to repair and it matches it to a profile, like, has no power, you might need a new power pack, costs £30. So it'll account for that cost and come up with a profit number, and then look for items that are profitable. Don't show rubbish, show me the items that are profitable. But in this demo, we will quickly do a price alert. This is a product name. It's just your naming convention. Let's say I do PS5 console. I want a PS5 less than £200, let's say. Search terms. PS5 has a couple of variations, right? PS5, PlayStation 5, or, something similar. Xbox probably doesn't have that, but there are certain things out there where you would want to say, it's not just PS5 I'm looking for, it's PlayStation 5, the name. So I would put PS5 here, console. It'll search eBay for PS5 console. Be clear with some of these wordings. Right? If you want a console, say console. You want to, or you'll end up with some stuff in there you don't really want. It's not the end of the world, but the list could end up with controllers, for example. And then we'll put a comma, and then we'll say PlayStation 5. So now the first part of the search criteria is going to say, go and get me a PlayStation 5. I'm going to put console because this is all about an eBay search. eBay understands the more you write, the more understanding it is of what you want. Now, eBay will show you, as you've been in eBay, lots of results that you don't actually want to see just because it's a generic, general search. So you type PlayStation 5, you're still going to get a lot of other stuff pop up. But let's just move on and we'll see how you strip that down. Maximum price. What do you want to buy? I said 200. Probably won't get too many results. Actually, because of that, we'll go 300 just to make sure in this test we do. Minimum, you want to remove stuff like controllers and all that stuff. You know this is not going to sell for less than 100, so we'll put in 100. But if you're buying something to resell, something broken, you want that low, right? Because you could get a PlayStation for 50 or 100. So you need to just weigh up that as you're doing it. Must include any. It's quite a key thing here. So we must include PS5. We will probably, eBay will probably show up other PlayStations. We must include PS5. Actually, we have that, or PlayStation 5, right? So we'll do the same in the must include, because this top box here isn't must include. It's just the search is putting in eBay. This here is the must include. And so that must be in the heading title of the eBay link, the eBay search term, sorry, which pops up in the eBay searching. Exclude words, optional, right? This is any as well. So if it finds any of these words, it will not find it. So if you were looking for a PlayStation that isn't broke, you could include faulty in there or no power, right? And that'll block those and remove those, and you won't get anything with those in the title. But it'll be faulty or no power. So it'll be any. If it matches one of these, it will block it. How often do you run a scan? Again, there's a time limitation on Scout Plan. Hook Plan, you can do every 10 minutes. Scan Plan, set to an hour. It's just to carefully not hit our limits. So these aren't immediate. Anyone that says there's an immediate out there probably isn't quite telling the truth. But we can make it close to immediate. Right? You want to get the result before someone else gets there. So this is currently at an hour, but like I said, upgrade please to Hook Plan, which only takes you doing one thing. Do you want to see bins, auctions only, whatever? And then if you're running auctions, how long? I'm not giving you weeks because there's no point, right? We all know that auctions, really everyone buys in the last few hours. Right? Not a lot of accurate pricing can be got, or accurate value can be got within 72 hours. Personally, I set it really low so that it tells me as late as possible there's a good deal. So I'm hitting an hour. You can add conditions if you want. I'd suggest, if you want something new, obviously go new. If you're looking at faulty, you probably just strip new out it because you're never going to get a new faulty. So just think about what you do there, and then you create. And what you'll find is then the product will come up. Now you have a best price deal, active, edit, delete. Just edit it and do what you like with it, right? Obviously, you can turn the active. Click that, pause. So this is the auto scanner. So you're getting too many alerts on one of these, but you want to keep it, but you don't want the alerts. Pause it. Doesn't mean you can't run a manual scan. Just pause it. Or you can obviously delete it if you don't want it. Let's have a little look at the resale. So we're going to do very, very similar. We're going to do another PS5, but we're going to say it's faulty. And then the search term will be PS5 faulty or PlayStation 5 faulty. Do note the max 3. I've just done that so it isn't so complicated. Just go and create another one if you really have more than 3 search bases, which you probably won't. Now you can see it's slightly different to the last one. We still have the sell price. So because we're doing faulty, we're looking for something a lot cheaper, 200 on our PlayStation 5. But it's going to cost me 12% eBay fee to sell it back later on. It's going to cost me £3.50 to send it, probably more like 10, I'd say, with PlayStation. Packaging 50p, no, it's probably more like £2, right? Because you just put these C's in, one time only setup, right? Then what must include? Well, I'm going to say must include faulty. I'm just going to leave it as faulty. So now we've got PS5, not PSY, faulty, PlayStation 5 faulty, but actually I'm telling the system it must say faulty in the title. eBay will tell you, show you anything, right, that is potentially not relevant, etc. Do we want to put console in here? Probably not. Not everybody writes console in the search. So think about that, right? Exclude words? Probably can't think of any, although there is a disc version and then there's a digital version, both different prices, right? So I'm not going to put it in, but if you were doing things like that, you would have a separate one for disc and a separate one for digital, most likely. You wouldn't do the same one. Minimum buy, again, I'm not going to set this as high this time. There's no way you're going to get a faulty PS5 for less than 50, so we're going to put 50. We still might get a few results we don't want, but it restricts it. Then you create the product. Now, resale product's different. You open, you have to have a search variant. It is not active at this point. Now, the search variant allows you to do certain things. So I'm going to call it PS5 no power. And then for the fault variant, I'm going to say no power. Although we may conflict with our search terms we put earlier, so we may tweak those in a moment. Sell price override. If it was fixed, how much do I think it will get? And I've already put that actually. I think I've already put that in the first tab, so I don't need a sell price override at this point. Parts. Well, it's a guess. It's got no power. It could be many things. What's the most likely? PSU, 30, 20 quid? 20 quid. This is what it's about. Broken screens on laptops. You'll know how much they are, so you know what to search for. Other costs, if you want to include your own sort of hourly rate or whatever you want to put. Target profit. How much do you want to make? 10, 20, whatever. I'm going to put 10. I'll keep it as is. Exclude words. Don't know. So same settings. 1 hour. Bin and auctions. I'm going to leave it at 24 because I want to see as much as I can. Could put the conditions, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to double check to see whether my product settings would override these settings. No. So default sell price is not the same as on the last one, the best price. The best price is what you want to buy below that price. You want to find items below. This is about how much you're going to sell it for after it's fixed. So actually, I've made a mistake because actually PlayStations are probably about 260, depending on what version. But as I said, we'll just go with generic for now. 260. The system will now account for all the costs that you've added, the parts, etc., and come up with all products that can find matching the criteria with that profile. Done. We now have a PS5 faulty resale and a PS5 console, which we're just going to buy on a standard best price. Let's look for a good deal. So if we go back to the homepage, you see we've got 2 profiles of 5 profiles used. You can see the scanner's already automatically gone away and ran searches, so it must have hit some alert setting. So it's probably emailed me already. Auto scans ran once, 2 active profiles. We've hit 2 eBay calls of 500 calls. So you can see it's already happening, already running. So what we then do, what can we do? Let's go and have a look in deals. So we're now in deals because it's actually auto ran. We're going to start seeing what all the items that it picked up here. Right? You can see they've all been flagged. They were all logged a moment ago. Seller condition fee in here, all in here. Perfect. So you've got cost, profit savings. Saved means it's ran on, the profile to Best Buy, as we go down, we might see, although I'm not sure which one's picked up, which one's not, you might see other one, which would say profit. And that will be the second one. In fact, we can do it, use it here. Look, we've got the no power. No power is not ran. I think we were creating it after the last job. And then PS5 console is the one that ran, which was the first one we created. You can see all this lovely detail in here. Filterings on here, export to CSV, all sorts of stuff. Link here, click it, straight to eBay, go and buy it. I think I did one yesterday in about 10 seconds. The guy actually cancelled the sale because I was so quick. He knew it was so cheap. So that was interesting, shall we say? Interesting. Let's have a little look at the scan page. Right, this is one of the sort of manual scans. Your settings, your alerts, we'll get to in a second. Look at this. This page here, quick search profile. The profile is all the profiles you've set up. So you can go down here and say which one you want to run. Right, I only want to run the PS5 no power because, of course, it didn't do anything a moment ago because it hadn't ran on the alert yet. We're going to run 24 hours. You can change these settings here. Only below max buy. So only profitable deals. You can turn it off. You will get a lot of stuff returned, right? You can turn it on. You'll get less stuff. You'll get your profitable deals, your non-profitable deals. The scanner doesn't work that way. The auto scanner will only send you good deals. Trust me, you don't want hundreds of thousands of alerts coming through. So you hit that, and then you say, all right, the rest of the stuff's pretty good. Let's scan. It's going away now in eBay. It's grabbing it all. Got a few stats up here. So it's found 17 good buys, 17 profitable deals, with the best being 132 and the average profit of 47. Now, I'm not saying the numbers I put in were right. So I'm not saying go away and buy all this, right? But that's exactly what's come up. Now, let's have a little look. We did get a controller, one of those special DualSense ones pop up because it met our criteria. Not great, but that's fine. We do have a PS5 disc edition, faulty here, matched our wording, 122. It's currently selling at 73, but it's on an auction in the next 24 hours. Right? So you're not going to probably be able to just go and buy it. It's probably going to go up in price. This one's more realistic. So we're 109.91, which includes the shipping, by the way. There's no point in not including. So it includes the shipping when it does it, right? So it's probably 100 or something. And of course, you've got those weird eBay fees that they add on these days. It's a buy it now. So that's 110 to buy PlayStation 5 Digital Edition White that's faulty. That sounds a good deal to me, right? 85.98 profit based on the profile settings I'd set up, including the power options, etc. Right? You see, this one says no power. You just got to get these wordings right, so it kind of finds what you want. Click it straight to the link. Look at it, great. Of course, click the picture. You get one picture in here, and it's not, and then so you can see it. So that's nice. Let's just do a quick search. Quick search. PS5 console. PS6, which doesn't exist yet. PS5 console. Minimum buy. I'm going to do this a little bit higher. 100. Max buy 300. Just and then that's all you need. Quick search. Bam. Here we go. There you go. It's probably going to come up with a load of things we don't want. Let's have a look. PlayStation Portal. PlayStation Portal. Sony PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. Faulty one. Yeah, that came up in the other search as well. PlayStation 5. There. You can see in here, there's various other sort of results. Looks like it's sorted by profit. So you can sort it any sort of way you want. Limited search, but allowing you just to do what you would do in eBay. You would go in, you would type it, but in order to get to the minimum maximum buy profits, you need to go into the advanced settings and then do that and then search. And of course, as you're seeing here, you get some other stuff come up, wade through, find what you're looking for. This is sorted, so you can just sort it in a different manner. to see what you want. We'll look at improving, seeing if we can narrow down that search. Probably the 24 hours is also not good. And also you probably, when you're doing faulty, of course, want to make sure the condition is new, not new probably, and stuff like that. Lots of different things. Now if we go back to the home page, we're going to see sort of what's happening. So now we have okay, thought it wasn't working for a moment there. Right. Page must have been cached a little bit then. Right, so we've got manual scans ran. It looks like there's duplication here, so I'll probably remove this duplication because to me they're both the same. And active profiles, this is both the same. So I'll remove it, give us a bit more space on the page shortly. Watch, there's nothing in there at the moment. We've got this down the bottom here. And that's just showing the top, I think it's 5 recent deals. And then, of course, the bottom is the searches that we've got currently running. And you can manage them via there. Now, let's go back up. You go into deals. Again, you can see pretty much every deal that has been logged. Please note the system will remove any deals or anything from the system once eBay item has been sold. So the next time the profile runs, the next time your search runs, it will say, is it still there on eBay? And if the answer is no, well, what's the point in you having it in here, right? So it will disappear. Okay, we got on updates where I just make some postings, so keep your eyes on that. Let's get to the settings then. So this explains more about your plan right here. 5 max searches, 10 manual per day, hourly scanning, 500 API. This is the beginning setting based on you running off of sort of our server API keys. Don't worry too much about what that means. The limits are quite low. So if you want real often alerts, you want to find some rare items, you want to find a console to repair and be the first to it, you're going to want to make sure you sign up to eBay. As per, you'll see lower down the instructions. Just get the key, enter the key, and then all you have to do, go over here, switch to Hawk, and then you will then be using that. Your limits will be increased, as you can see here. 100 search variants, 50 manuals a day, and then every 10-minute and 5,000 call limit. By the way, if you do run 100 every 10 minutes and you run your 50, all of that will blow that 5,000 out the water, right? So be specific with your products. Each one you can say a time you want to run them at. So anything you really want to get the best offer as soon as it arrives in front of everybody else, by all means, stick it at 10 minutes, 30 minutes. But anything where you're just looking for something that you think isn't really going to disappear that quick, I would suggest setting them a little bit longer. So you can have multiple time settings within. You don't want to hit this 5,000. We do have restriction. It will stop when it hits it. And that's just to make sure that eBay don't go banning your API key for a period of time. It won't stop you using eBay normally. It's just the key, we will not be able to search anymore. In the future, we are discussing with eBay, and when we start getting a user base, etc., we'll look at our server limits and see if we can remove the requirement for you to use your own eBay key. But for now, it's required. You can see if you haven't yet set it up at the top. So we're going to do that as we do this tutorial. Just your normal details as you go down. Hours. I mean, let's be honest. We all need a good bit of sleep. There's no point in alerting you when you're asleep. So please limit the time, because again, it stops those API calls running every 10 minutes. So limit your time to the hours that you want to be alerted. And I think it defaults as 8 to 11. So just put it to whatever you want. API credentials. So just please do this. Have a look in the FAQ as well. We've got the FAQ page where it explains, but really it shouldn't be too hard to go to developer eBay, go in and get your 2 keys. And this will be heavily encrypted on our system. I want to have access. No one will have access to those keys. Only yourself. And scrolling down, we got the alerts. So again, we've got Telegram alerts, we have email alerts, and we have push notifications. So whatever device you're on, you would have seen it a million times elsewhere. Go in, tick notifications. Now, whatever device you're on will tick this. So it's like each device has to go into the settings here and tick this, and it will authenticate it or authorize it for that device. So you can have 3 devices all getting the same alert if you want. Telegram alerts, I haven't got it ticked on. You can see the reason for that is I haven't set it up yet, as we'll see below. And email alerts here, turned on by default. Telegram alerts. Personally, I like Telegram. Some people do. Some people like push notifications. Some just want the emails, right? So we'll just give you those options. All you have to do is follow those very quick instructions. Type the ID that you get in Telegram here, and that's it. You'll start getting those Telegram alerts. And when you put your Telegram ID in and you save the page, what we should see is the Telegram box open, and you can tick it. That's an invalid one I just typed, but it just shows you how it works. And then there's the delete request to delete the account. So you've got these 2 free tiers, very important. Best to get this one on. Best to get this one on. And then everything will work great. Just the fact, obviously type your questions, whatever. I try to keep it as updated as possible. Dark mode, light mode, as every good site should have. What will happen is when you were setting up your times on your searches, the alerts will fire at those times. If a deal is found, if a deal is not found, then you won't get anything. So you're looking for someone selling a product at a ridiculously low price. You can do that. That's what our system does. You may never find a result, but at one time you find that someone's selling something cheaper than they should. You got it. And there's so many categories of items out there. Yeah, tens of thousands of different categories. Everybody who could utilize this tool will probably have a slightly different thing they're looking for. And that is why we're here. And I wish you all success, and thanks for watching the demo. Oh, actually, hold on. Why don't we click the watch list button? We go to the main page, and I think it takes a second to appear in the box, right? And why did I add this on when it doesn't work first time? Hold on. Watch this PS5. There's no power. It just took a minute to arrive. I'm just going to go and double check and make sure we're all operational. It was PS5 faulty no power. And there's a PS5 faulty no power. So it seems to take a few seconds, 10, 20 seconds maybe, in this testing portal in order for it to arrive. So the one I ticked below should then arrive, which it does. Maybe it just had a funny moment, not a very quick moment, but as you can see, the watch list is populated there. And that really is how the site works. Hopefully you find it very useful. And any questions, any comments, by all means, email contact@DealHawkHQ.com. Thanks for watching.